The rain soaked his soul. Billionaire Jack Morgan stood alone, shattered by his wife's urn. Then a tiny voice broke the silence. "Sir, your wife is alive. Before we start the story, please comment down from which country are you watching and don't forget to subscribe." It was a cold, misty morning at Willow Creek Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. The air clung to the skin, heavy with secrets. Jack Morgan, a real estate tycoon whose name once shone on Forbes, knelt beside an elegant gray urn. His wife Lily was gone, killed in a car crash 3 days ago. His tailored suit, drenched in rain, hung like a shroud. Grief carved hollows under his eyes. "Why her?" he whispered, voice breaking. "God, why not me?" The cremation had been rushed, pushed by his trusted doctor, Eric Dawson. "It's for the best, Jack," Dawson had said, his hands too eager, eyes darting. Something about it gnawed at Jack, but he trusted the man. Until today. Across the cemetery, hidden behind a cluster of ancient oaks, 8-year-old Maya Brooks watched. Her oversized jacket sagged on her tiny frame. Her shoes, held together by tape, flapped with every step. Her braid was messy, like life had tugged it loose. But her eyes, they burned with a fire no rain could drown. She didn't belong here, among sleek limousines and whispered condolences from Savannah's elite. Security had shoved her away 3 times before, each push rougher than the last. But Maya carried a truth heavier than the marble headstones around her. Today she wouldn't be stopped. The last mourners drove off, their taillights fading into the fog. Jack stayed, kneeling in the mud, alone with his pain. Maya stepped out from the trees, her small body trembling. The wind tried to swallow her voice, but she spoke again, louder. "Mr. Morgan, your wife is alive." Jack's head snapped up. His heart stopped. He stared at the girl, her words impossible, like a cruel dream. But her tone, calm, certain, froze the grief in his veins. 2 security guards moved toward her, hands outstretched. Before they could grab her, Maya opened her dirt-streaked hand. A gold wedding ring gleamed in her palm. Jack staggered to his feet, legs unsteady. His fingers shook as he reached for it. The engraving inside read, "Forever yours, December 6, 2010. Only Jack and Lily knew that date, the day they'd vowed to love forever. The jeweler who carved it was dead, his secrets buried with him. "Where did you get this?" Jack's voice cracked like thunder over the graves. "Where's Lily?" Maya stood her ground, unflinching. 3 nights ago, under Riverbend Bridge. Her voice was soft but steady, like she'd rehearsed this moment 100 times. She told him everything. Maya lived under the bridge, scavenging to survive since her mother died 6 months ago. Her father had vanished years before. 3 nights ago, past midnight, a black SUV pulled up near the airport. A tall man in a suit shouted, "Lily, get in the car, it's not safe." Lily looked terrified, her eyes darting like a trapped bird's. She ran to Maya, knelt in the dirt, and pressed the ring and a crumpled $50 bill into her hand. "Take this to Jack Morgan," Lily whispered, her voice shaking. "At my funeral, tell him I'm alive." Then she fled back to the SUV and it roared into the night. Jack's world spun. Tears mixed with rain on his face. His knees buckled, but he caught himself. Dr. Eric Dawson appeared from the fog, his smile forced, his face pale. "Jack, this girl's lying," he said, voice too smooth. "Probably stole the ring from a pawn shop. I'll call child services to handle her." Jack's eyes burned. "You told me Lily's body had no jewelry when you found her." Dawson's lips twitched. "That's right," he said too fast. Jack held up the ring, the engraving catching the dim light. "Then explain this." Dawson's hands trembled. Sweat beaded on his forehead, despite the cold. Jack saw it, the fear in his eyes. The doctor was hiding something big. Jack grabbed Maya's arm gently. "You're coming with me." He led her to his car, ignoring the guards' protests. The ring burned in his fist, a lifeline to Lily. They drove through the storm to the Morgan estate, a gated mansion that loomed like a fortress. Inside, the warmth felt hollow. Annie Blake, the housekeeper, gasped at Maya's muddy clothes and tangled hair. "Sir, who's this child?" she asked, hands on her hips. Jack's voice was steel. "She's staying here. And we need to talk. Now." He locked the front door, the click echoing like a warning. In the sitting room, Maya sat wrapped in one of Lily's cashmere blankets, sipping hot cocoa. Her small hands gripped the mug, but her eyes never wavered. She told her story again, word for word, as if it were carved into her soul. Jack's phone rang. Dawson. He ignored it. It rang again. Annie picked it up, glancing at the screen. "It's him, sir." Jack snatched the phone. Dawson's voice was too calm, like a snake coiling. Jack, we got off on the wrong foot. That girl's manipulating you. You're vulnerable. Let me come by and explain. Jack's voice was a growl. Come near this house, Eric, and I swear I'll bury you next to that urn you claimed held my wife. He hung up, his pulse racing. He turned to Maya. Start from the beginning. Don't leave anything out. Maya's mother had died of cancer 6 months ago. Her father abandoned her long before. She'd survived under Riverbend Bridge, hiding from the world, scavenging scraps to eat. 3 nights ago everything changed. Lily saw me, Maya said, her voice soft but sure. She looked scared, like someone was chasing her. The man with her was tall, clean-cut, in a suit. She called him Elliot, but it didn't sound right, like a fake name. She gave me the ring and ran back to the car. Jack's breath hitched. A fake name. Then it struck him like lightning, Gregory Shaw, Lily's father. A ruthless businessman who'd built an empire on secrets. Lily had been digging into his company's finances before the crash, uncovering discrepancies she wouldn't explain. Had she found something worth killing for? Jack made 2 calls that night. One to Trent Keller, a private investigator who owed him favors. The other to Frank Murphy, his driver and a former Marine who guarded more than just doors. By morning, Maya had her own room, fresh clothes, and Frank watching her like a hawk. Trent called at dawn, his voice grim. Jack, I checked hospital records from the night of Lily's crash. Another woman was admitted, no ID, same build, severe burns. She died on arrival. Dawson claimed the body within 2 hours. Jack's grip tightened on the phone. There's more, Trent said. A package arrived at my office. No return address. It's a flash drive with security footage. A woman in a hospital gown, limping down a corridor. It's Lily. Timestamp? 2 days after the supposed cremation. Jack's hands shook as he plugged in the drive. The grainy footage showed Lily alive in a hospital hallway. Her face was pale, eyes wide with fear. A nurse tried to stop her. Lily looked up, then ran. Jack's heart pounded like a war drum. She was alive. She might still be. That night, he found Maya in the library sitting on a leather chair, sketching. He leaned over. It was Lily's face, every line perfect, drawn from memory. You risked everything to tell me, Jack said, his voice soft. Why? Maya's eyes were too old for her age. Because she asked me to. And because I know what it's like to lose someone and have no one believe you. Jack felt something shift inside him. This girl, this brave little soul, had carried hope when he'd buried his. He took her hand. We're going to find her, Maya. I promise. If someone told you your loved one was alive at their funeral, would you believe them or walk away? Hit subscribe to see how this story unfolds and drop a comment. Where are you watching from? Let's find out who's with us. Jack couldn't sleep. The ring sat on his desk, gleaming under the lamp. It was Lily's, no doubt, but why had she run? Why hadn't she come to him? He paced the mansion's halls, memories of Lily flooding back. Their first date, laughing under Savannah's oak trees. Their wedding, her smile brighter than the sun. The night before the crash, when she'd been quiet, staring at papers from her father's company. It's nothing, she'd said, but her hands trembled. Jack cursed himself for not pushing harder. The next morning, Trent arrived, his face grim. I traced the SUV from Maya's story. It's registered to a shell company tied to Gregory Shaw. And there's something else. Lily's trust fund, millions of dollars, moved to an offshore account the day after the crash. Someone's covering tracks. Jack's jaw clenched. Gregory. The man who'd smiled at their wedding but always watched Lily like she was a pawn. Find him, Jack said. And find Lily. Maya adjusted to the mansion, but her eyes stayed sharp, scanning every room. Annie fussed over her, bringing clothes and hot meals, but Maya never relaxed. They're still out there, she told Jack one evening, her voice low. The man from the bridge. He saw me. Jack knelt beside her. No one's touching you. Frank's got your back and so do I. Maya nodded, but her small hands gripped her sketchbook tighter. 2 days later, a second package arrived, no return address. Inside was a note, Seaside Haven. She's there. Hurry. Jack knew the place, a deserted villa in North Carolina's Outer Banks, where he and Lily once dreamed of retiring. He packed a bag, loaded a plain SUV and called Maya. You're coming. She trusted you. I trust you. Maya clutched her backpack, Lily's ring inside, and climbed in. They drove through the night, the road blurring under the storm. Jack's mind raced. Was Lily really there? Or was this a trap? The Outer Banks greeted them with crashing waves and a gunmetal sky. Seaside Haven loomed on a cliff, its windows dark. Ben Carter, Jack's old friend, met them at the gate. His eyes were shadowed, his voice low. "She's inside, Jack. But she's not the same." Ben's sister, Rachel, stood behind him, her face unreadable. Jack pushed open the heavy oak door, heart pounding. Lily stood by a window, her hair shorter, face thinner, but unmistakable. "Jack," she whispered, her voice trembling. He crossed the room in 3 steps, pulling her into his arms. "I never stopped looking," he choked out. Lily clung to him, tears falling. Maya stood quietly watching, the ring still in her backpack. They sat in the villa's dim living room, Jack, Lily, Maya, Ben and Rachel. Lily's story poured out, each word a knife. She'd uncovered a money laundering scheme in her father's company, Gregory Shaw Enterprises. Millions flowed through her trust fund and Morgan Industries, hidden in fake deals. When she confronted Gregory, he didn't deny it. "You're in over your head," he'd said, his eyes cold. Days later the car crash happened. It wasn't an accident. Dr. Dawson, Gregory's ally, faked her death, cremating a Jane Doe to seal the lie. Ben, who worked for Gregory, turned against him when he learned the truth. He smuggled Lily out of the hospital, hiding her in safe houses until Seaside Haven. "I couldn't come to you," Lily said, her voice breaking. "Gregory had eyes everywhere, your phone, your office. I saw Maya under the bridge. She was so small, but her eyes, they were brave. I knew she'd find you." Maya looked down, her cheeks red. Jack reached for Lily's hand. "You're safe now. We're together." But a loud bang echoed outside. Jack ran to the window. A black SUV idled in the dark, the same one from Maya's story. Ben grabbed his radio. "They found us." Jack turned to Lily and Maya. "Safe room. Now, Rachel, take them." Lily's voice cracked. "What about you?" Jack's eyes blazed. "I'm ending this." Gregory Shaw stepped into the villa, his navy coat pristine, flanked by 2 armed men. His smile was venom. "Jack, such a dramatic reunion." Jack stood tall. "You tried to kill your daughter." Gregory shrugged. "I saved what she'd destroy. Leaders make sacrifices." Jack's voice was iron. "You underestimated 2 things, Lily's will to live and a girl you ignored under a bridge." A red light blinked on a bookshelf. Gregory's eyes narrowed. Jack smirked. "You're live streaming to federal servers. Your confession's out." Gregory's face collapsed. His men reached for guns, but the door burst open. Federal agents stormed in, shouting, "Gregory Shaw, you're under arrest." For the first time, Jack saw fear in the man's eyes. Would you risk everything for the truth? Subscribe now to see how this ends and comment, where are you watching from? Tell us what you'd do in Jack's shoes. The agents cuffed Gregory and his men, dragging them into the night. Jack, Lily and Maya returned to the villa, shaken but safe. Lily held Maya close. "You saved me," she whispered. Maya smiled faintly. "You saved me first." Over the next week, Jack and Lily worked with the FBI, unraveling Gregory's empire. Dawson was arrested, his lies exposed. The laundered money traced back to cartels, and Gregory's confession sealed his fate. But Jack couldn't rest. He saw the fear in Lily's eyes every time a car passed the villa. She'd lost trust in the world. Back in Savannah, the Morgan estate came alive again. Jack hired tutors for Maya, who was now officially adopted. She had her own room filled with sketchbooks and new clothes. Annie fussed over her, baking cookies and braiding her hair. But Maya never forgot the bridge. One evening she showed Jack a drawing, a family under an oak tree, smiling. "That's us," she said. Jack's throat tightened. He framed it, hanging it in the living room. 3 months later, the estate buzzed with laughter. Lily was healing, her smile returning. One morning, Maya handed her a velvet box. Inside was the wedding ring, polished and shining. Lily's eyes filled with tears. Jack took her hand, leading her to the garden. Under the oak tree they renewed their vows. No cameras, no guests, just them and Maya. Lily slipped the ring on, her voice steady. "Forever yours." Jack kissed her, the weight of the past lifting. Maya clapped, her laugh bright as the sun. As the sun set, Lily knelt beside Maya. "You saved us all," she whispered. Maya hugged her. "You saved me first." The 3 stood together, a family forged in fire, bound by love and truth. Did Maya's courage inspire you? If someone faked your loved one's death, would you seek justice or revenge? Type 100 in the comments if this story touched your heart, and tell us, what country are you watching from? Share this with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you hooked till the end.